Hello and welcome back to episode 15 of our Timberborn Emberpelts Canyon playthrough. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Glad to have you. Without further ado, let's get this started. So last time we worked on getting all the layers done for our vertical tree farm, and now we're going to put in the actual tree farm. So if you look over here, we know that irrigation can reach 9 tiles away straight from the 3x3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This has a little bit of green. So we're going to use that information to figure out where to put these irrigation ponds. So first of all, let's figure out how wide this is. Okay, it's 16. So that means we want, let's see, if it's 16, the exact middle of there's not going to be an exact middle, but we're going to be able to get from either side, let's see, that's 7 from that side, that's 8 from that side. And it's a 3x3 area. So basically, what did I say this one was? That was 8, this is 7. So if we do something like that, that should work out the best. That's where our levee should be, in that range. Now we got to figure out the other direction. We're going to have 2 irrigation ponds up here. So that's 25. 25 plus 6, it looks like. So we're at 31. Okay. Well, if we want it to be 9 from this end, per se, and then 3 for the irrigation pond, and then another 9. And if we repeat that over here, 9, 3, 9. Okay, so there will be a little bit of overlap. That's perfectly fine. But we are looking right here. So I can now use those to line up where I'm going to put the irrigation pond. Right there. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that thought process and drawing that out made sense. Sometimes I just wing and I don't care about the exact distance. Here I wanted it a little bit more exact. Actually, to get to the corner, we're going to want this over halfway. Because each of these can go 9 spaces from the other. So there's a whole bunch of overlap here. So to actually help it reach to the corner, we should probably go only, say, let's scoot it over just 2. Because it kind of radiates out. So from here, it's still, we'll have to see. I'm going to scoot it over 2. That's what I think will be an appropriate amount to help reach the corner some. Okay, there. How far is that out? I want to make it fairly symmetrical if I can. 7 out. So right there. I do like to use roads to help plan things out. Except that's not right. Delete that. Because we want to be even with this one right here. Then like that. And I should irrigate most, if not all of this. Pretty dang close. Now we can get rid of those excess roads, and I'm going to unpause it too. We're going to put a few platforms up here. Something like that, probably. With stairs. See, and right in between these, should be 7 as well. Okay. So the very center of this then is right here. And we can put our 2-way station. That's not actually where we want those roads to be, because we want them to be like this. Unfortunately, that's right where there's a pillar. It makes sense there's a pillar in the middle of it, though. That's what's supporting everything. So, might have to have that just in front 2 places on the other levels. So I'm talking, that's where the 1 2-way is. We can just put it, let's see, what am I doing? Oh wait, we have small 2-ways on this playthrough. That's right. Small 2-ways are even better. So to make it symmetrical, I'm going to put this other one down first. The normal 2-way would actually have been better for symmetry. I think we're just going to go right like that, though. But I'm going to match that up here on these upper levels. So let's delete the roads for now. Small 2-way station right on this spot. Oh, no, that can't be right. One more forward from that. Right there. And that's still pretty dang close to center. And then we can 2-way tunnels, right? Doesn't like to go through that. Why? Because there's nothing below it. Okay. So let's put the rest of these small 2-ways. So there should be a pillar right there. Go down a few more layers. Pillar right there. Yep. So that's where we're going to actually be. And I think it's totally appropriate to just start right here. And we can start building up. So let's just select 2-way and just keep scrolling up 1 till we hit that. Then we'll scroll up again, and we'll. Now, why did all of those move? I think it's because I wasn't straight up and down. We're just marking spots right now. Okay. Excellent. And I'm just using the scroll wheel and Alt to do this. That's right, I already put all of those. Okay. Sweet. After it is supported by the 2-way below it, it'll allow us to put the 2-way tunnel. We just needed a little support. Think that one went. I don't think we got all the way up here yet, though, with the 2-way tunnel. We're not even up there with the 2-way blueprints, so we need to go down some. That would explain that. Okay, now we should be able to put that 2-way tunnel. Yeah, you hear the click, it went through. Although, they won't be able to build any of that from the scaffolding. They're going to have to build up through the 2-ways, I think. Yeah. Because there's still terrain tiles above them. Not the end of the world. All right, so let's get our fluid dump. Our fluid dumps, plural. Got plenty of bots. These can be bots. Why not? And we do use control towers on this one, so we're going to want to find a spot for control towers as well. that will cover our whole tree farm. Like that. We can go grab our forester. Set it up like so. And then we can actually fit some of our lumberjacks up here as well then. And let's see, if we actually built more platforms up here, right here, we'd be able to put more lumberjacks up top. Because we could put them here, here, and here. And we could put a stair here to make this one be able to reach, these two be able to reach the back corner right here. But I don't think that's entirely necessary because we're going to have, what does it look like? At least two other ones that can reach it. So I don't think that's going to be a huge deal. We put this right like that. Feel like, there it is. There's that last one. Yeah, like these two can't reach those, what is it? 7 spots. But this one can, this one, and this one can. And there's a lot of overlap between these where they can reach a lot of this sections and vice versa. So I think we're going to be okay with that setup. And they're all showing that they don't have access to a door yet because they're waiting for this tube-way station to be built. We can actually set both of these to robots. And actually all of these lumberjacks can be bots as well. We don't quite have enough bots to fill all of it on all the layers. We won't need the pump, but we're going to need lumberjacks and foresters. So that's going to eat up a lot of our bots. How is this coming? Just almost through there. Okay, we're up to that level. Then we got to decide if we want any maples or pine trees on any layers. And I think we can make that bottom layer pines and maples. I don't think that should be a problem. I mean, we got all of this over here, but I don't know if I want that to permanently be pines and maples, right? Now, obviously, we could have gone a little bit further back, probably. We could go at least 7 from here, I would say. No problem. But I think this should be plenty big for our needs. All right. So now we're just waiting on those tubeways. And I see that one reaching up, so it is almost done. I just want to see which area gets irrigated here. Just waiting on that two-way tunnel. It's being built right now. We just need a metal block. There we go. Now these are all connected. Nothing to do in range. That's to be expected. We're waiting for the water. Yeah. plenty. We could even extend it sideways some if we wanted to. But I think that is probably enough for our needs. We'll evaluate if we want to extend it later, but that is perfectly fine in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get some oaks planted up here, huh? I don't think I'm going to plant here just to not have it look quite so messy. Okay, and we can scroll down, and these can all be, well, before we plant the oaks here, let's get our foresters and our lumberjacks. I do want it to kind of mirror up here, so I think, I mean, technically, do we even need 2 foresters? No, we don't need 2 foresters. So let's not do 2 foresters on these levels. Do a forester there. Where did I put the door on that one? Close, good. Maybe have just a little bit of overhang here, and we could put the lumberjacks. I think we're gonna want 6 lumberjacks per level. I think I actually got 8 on that top one. Let's see how we do with this. And they can reach everywhere. Wonderful. In addition to that, I'm going to have a let's make sure that didn't affect where they can reach. Did not. We're going to have a tank for lubricant and a tank for biofuel. We'll also do something like that on the top level. All right, so now we can have this be bots. Actually, let's go to that district center and default new building spots. That would be the smarter way to do this. Make all of these bots. And now we're out of bots, actually. No, we'll keep building bots. They'll catch up. And let's mark this for oaks. Okay, look, I guess the other layer can go there. So we'll plant an oak there. Why not? And let's just repeat that pattern. I just set it for bots, but I think we might need some fleshy beavers to do some of these for now. Go back to fleshy beavers. And we'll just repeat that same pattern. So scroll up. Where did we put everything? Okay. So just straight to the pillar and then 2 on either side. That is easy enough for the paths. Forester. Lumberjacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the small tanks. We can definitely set that to lubricant. Oh, and obtain. And biofuel and obtain. Good. These are fleshy beavers at the moment, but they will be bots at some point. And oaks it shall be. And I suppose we need to actually mark all of these trees for cutting too, for that air to go away. That, oh, nothing to do in range. Oh, scrolled the wrong way. Not that we were even having trouble with wood, but I think this tree farm is going to look nice in the end. You know, we actually didn't blow up some of that. We should have, I think, on this layer. It's because some of the scaffolding was on top of it. That's what it was. We'll leave that for now. We'll fix it maybe in a little bit. All right, so just go up to this layer. Same pattern. We can do straight to the pillar, two on either side. Forester. Lumberjacks. Tanks. One for lubricant. One for biofuel. Oaks. We need oaks. Bended. That'll do. And then we need to mark them for cutting. That'll do. All right, so this layer we want to do some pines and maple trees. So let's start with the forester layout. But I think we might want two tapper shacks. So actually, I'm going to make it just look a little bit different. Path. Depending if I want storage for any of the logs up there too. That might become a thing. I'll see. We can definitely spare the room. Okay, so tapper shacks. They take up the same room as the forester. So we'll have one here, and eventually we'll have the other one here. But this is where the forester is going to be to start with. We don't need any lumberjacks on this level. But I do want some storages. A medium warehouse and a medium tank. This one can be set to maple syrup supply. And this one can be set to pine resin supply. And then since these are going to be bots, we can still have the two small tanks for biofuel and lubricant. Now we can do pine trees. Not sure how many pines. I still think we're going to need more maples. But we already have a lot more maples over in that other area. But it might not stay. I'm going to do one more row of pines and then the rest can be maples here. I think that looks pretty good. We'll try that. Okay. And now we just let them do their thing. After all those trees are planted, we are going to switch these buildings to this forester to a tapper shack. Why is it paused? I'm sorry. That was a mistake. I did not mean to have that paused. I do notice our scrap getting a little bit thin over there. Is there any more scrap piles? I mean, there's that. There's a mine up here. I know that. Did we build that mine already? Am I blind? It's right there. We did build the mine already. We just don't need it yet. Efficient uses 2 extract. Okay. Well, that was one of my goals for this episode, a major one, and I think we nailed it already, to be perfectly honest. I think that this area can be converted to food. I don't think we need this other tree farm here anymore. So I'm going to actually unmark these for planting. In fact, I might just make that fully into an apple orchard. Maybe one of these levels on the tree farm should have had some apple trees. I'm not sure. We're not really hurting for such a thing. But just to tidy it up like this mixed bag farm, I want it to look a little bit nicer than that in the end. Yeah. We are doing A-okay. Do we have any more hauling posts? Yeah, we do right there. Okay. We're keeping up pretty dang well, to be honest. Is there anything we're low on? It looks like we're not keeping up on... Okay, wheat and canola seeds are getting out, but how are we doing on flour is fine. Canola oil is going down. Interesting. Some of that area can be for canola. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Now that canola is being used, I believe that's being used for our... Yeah, it's being used for our lubricant. Pine resin and canola oil. That's part of the issue. Not issue, but that's where some of it's going. A decent chunk of it anyway. All right, and these beavers are just working at it. All right. That scaffolding might be almost ready to go away. I'll keep it up for just a little bit longer. We're still collecting stuff just fine there. I think the next project is going to be to build proper scaffolding around this reservoir to fill it up all the way. Yep. To make it higher. Not that we've had any water issues, but I think it would be a good idea to have a nice tall reservoir. So we're going to have our tubeways. What do you think? Going from over here would be the natural way to go. Okay, I got it figured out in my head. So we're going to go up this way with a, oh, not metal platform. Let's see how far we can reach. Okay, so that's as tall as we can go. Can we go even? I think we want to just maybe go one there. And let's see how we get all the way across that with 3 of them. Not quite. Just shy, actually. That kind of stinks. And since we're using tubeways, we can't just put a bridge on the end. Let's just do a 3. That's actually more than enough, but it'll be fine. Let's see. Can we build tubeways on that level? We cannot. That stinks. Okay. Well, that just means we need to go down 1 layer. Right there. And then 3 for. Okay. So all of that scaffolding can reach over here. Like it's 1 away from this. So it can reach this whole layer. Then all we got to do is go 2 from there. Or leave 2 openings, right? Go right here. Until we reach that same level right there. And again, leave 2 openings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why I'm counting because counting's not going to help me here. I think that's at the same level. Yep. We actually need this maple to be gone. How can we get that maple gone? Not easily. Do we still have... We got rid of the lumberjack over here. I'm going to delete that small warehouse. See if I can sneak in a lumberjack. Lumberjack. There we go. Industry. That's facing the wrong direction. Can that reach all the way over here? It barely can. Okay. So we're going to mark this one for cutting. Unmark it for planting. Well, we don't even have a forester over here, so planting's irrelevant. But yeah, once we have the scaffolding here, it'll be able to reach this whole side. All right. We can start putting these overhangs. And the 3. You know what? I forgot. In this playthrough on Emberpelts, we have 2-way bridges. Haha. That means we can go up 1 layer higher than this. I don't know why I paused it for that, but I did, stupidly. And we should be able to build 2 ways up here. Yep, okay. And a 2-way bridge, and we really only need the 3 long 2-way bridge. Let's see, 2-way, 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 2-way. Okay, and now we obviously need a way to get up there, right? And we can just go right from there and just build up. Like so. Actually, I wonder, with 2-way bridges, it won't connect to that other 2-way. Is that what I'm seeing? That'd be really cool if it did. It does. Okay, so that changes how we can build scaffolding. Much better than the way we did it over here. 2-way bridges are an awesome thing that Emberpelts have access to. All right, so they got to build up this way. Oh, this might not work quite well, though. Because they're not going to be able to build this up, to build up that 2-way bridge. Dang. Dang. What if we had the bridge in a different position? What if, instead of doing it that way, can we put it on top of this? We certainly can, and we can go 3 over. Nope, has to be 2. And then from there, we can do the 3. Then they can reach all of that. Small hiccup there, but we figured it out. Oh, we definitely don't need that platform there. What are we at for height here? We are below that. If we do a double, though, I think we're at the right height. Are we? No, I think it needs to be another triple. Huh. Okay. Nope, because we have the overhang as well. It is a double. Okay. 2 ways. There. 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 And then the 3 for a 2-way bridge. All right, and then once they get up top here, they should be able to build that bridge. And then this other scaffolding platform support. And then this one, and then that one. And they should be able to build all of that. And then we could just build up this dam to our heart's content. This isn't supposed to be flowing over there. We're losing water. Because we want it flowing out of here. And it's not flowing out of there because before it reaches that, it's flowing out of here. We need this to go up with our system. We left that one spot. Last episode, we brought it up 1 more layer We needed to bring up that at the same time for our bad water diversion to work properly. Honestly, it overflowing there and then going off the map isn't a whole lot worse than it overflowing here and then eventually going off the map this way. It's actually a horse apiece. It really wasn't that bad. But I just like to see the overflow going through the river, kind of how we planned. All right, so that will take a decent chunk of resources, but nothing that we're really short of. I mean, a lot of planks, right? A lot of metal blocks. Let's see if we can shorten the distance they have to travel some here. To do that, let's delete this small tank for now. And let's blow up some of this. Just make it a little more area for us to like make some construction over here, right? It's too far from a district center? Really? Can't you just go? Oh, that's too high. No, you can't go just like that. Well, let me think here. If I do a couple tubeways and a nice long tubeway bridge, we should be able to get most of that actually. Let's put that at high priority. We went higher than we needed to, but oh well. Highest priority so that they can put this dynamite down. And we can build some more storage to make this go a little bit faster. One thing I might also want to do actually is put a tank for water for these. But we can honestly just click prioritize these by haulers, and then the haulers will bring water to them anyway. Not going to be a big deal. Paused again. That is a bad habit of mine. That's why we get so little done sometimes. And I also want that to be a pretty heavy priority. But before they can reach that, they need to... Oh, they won't even be able to reach that because of where we built this. Now I got to think, because we definitely need that to go up higher. Is there a way... Let's find where this is. Is it right here? It is. Okay. So if we replace this tubeway with tubeway bridge, that should allow them to build onto that section. Okay. Oh, wait, I put single dynamite there when really I want double and triple. So now I want a single here. And I want double across this area and triple up here. So we don't even need to go that far out. We can just get a path and then some storages and such. Okay. That looks good. This can be deleted. It has served its purpose. Now we can go over here and let's see, the tubeway, so logs and planks. And the tubeways require metal blocks and planks, and two-way bridges require logs, planks, and metal blocks. Okay, so we need all of them. That should have been pretty obvious. So, something like that. And we're going to be actually building with a lot of logs here. So I'm actually going to have more log storage. We're kind of done blowing up this area. We need it more for going up higher. Logs obtained, planks obtained, and metal blocks obtained. And then all those builders won't have to go nearly as far for these resources. Our haulers were bringing them over there for us, and that'll speed up this whole project. Speaking of haulers, I think I want 10 more bot haulers. Why not? Let's see. Be under district manager. Yep. Hauling post. Can you make more bot builders? Nah, I don't want more bot builders right now, because I would rather have the haulers, and then I'd rather switch some of this over to bots. So let's see. I think it's this layer that's not bots yet. We can fix that. I am looking forward to getting the copy paste settings from the experimental branch. That would be nice. Okay, now they're mostly bots. We'll make this one bots too. And a few of these, but we don't quite have the bots to make all of them on this layer bots. Just like that, I think, would be good. Okay, let's keep an eye on our resources. Canola still going down a little bit, but not terrible. Yeah, this is going so much faster now that we did that. Well, that's interesting that it overfilled that way at all. Oh, because I built that. Duh. It took a little while for it to realize it should overflow here, essentially is what happened. We should be able to start laying the groundwork for our levees, though. Drought started. That's excellent timing, actually. That's the best time to be working on a reservoir. We're going to use up a lot of logs, but remember, we just built a brand new tree farm. So logs shouldn't be an issue. I also do like the way that levees look now in the new experimental branch. These ones look like they're made out of planks. The new ones are going to look like they're made out of logs, which they are. So I think that is a good visual change. You may or may not prefer the look of the current levees to the new ones, but I don't think you can argue that it looks more realistic for what they are made out of. I think you would not have much of a leg to stand on in that situation. But I don't think these are ugly, but I do like the look of the new ones too. Is this more than what we need? Absolutely. Are we doing it anyway? Absolutely. Because why not? Oh, we're getting close to the limit with where our scaffolding is. I think that will probably be as high as we go, and then we'll delete most of the scaffolding, but then just build right where that is. Okay, we can delete that and make some is going to overflow. That way, not worried about it. And we can replace that with levees as well. I maybe should have deleted that earlier so I could have done it with all the other building. But this isn't bad either. I bet those logs are just getting chewed through super fast with all the levee building. Might even have a third log pile. So yeah, the planks and metal blocks lasting a little longer than the logs. We can prioritize these by builders, by haulers. There we go. Bet we'll be surprised by how quick that actually goes. We can replace more of these with bots. I think there was 2 here. Yep. Excellent. That's not the button I meant. Let's get this forester to be a bot so that it can work at night too. This is set to supply, meaning it should be the least priority to move stuff over to it, but it's the only place left for maple syrup, and we are full on maple syrup. So I find that kind of funny that filled up already. Oh, hiccups, that's not going to be fun, possibly. Yeah, no error messages on any of the scaffolding, except on any of the levees, except for the ones we can't quite reach from this last bit here. All the scaffolding is almost done. And then this project's going to go pretty dang quick at that point. Where's my district center at here? That's not it. There it is. Okay. Just with our well-being, some of the bots might not be faster than the beavers. Yeah, we have so much work speed and move speed. The only advantage of the bots is going to be that they can work through night, because we don't have any control towers over here is the thing. All the other bots, let's find one that's not moving, staying in range. So they have 170% working speed and 80% move speed. Our fleshy beavers, if I can find one right here, have 200% move speed, working speed, which is higher than the bots, but they have less movement speed. And remember, those bots are going to lose that higher tier the instant they get outside of a control tower's range. And the moment for control towers, we don't have anything over here, and we're not going to be working over here constantly, so we're not going to really need that. Doesn't make much sense to build one up there at this point. Although the bots do get to work at night. Let's see if I can find one of those builder bots. I do have some builders that are bots, I thought. I have any builders that are bots? I know not. Oh yeah, they're in here. So when they're over here, they go down to the condition 1. So they do lose 60% working speed and 20% move speed. But the fleshy beavers, I'm pretty sure 50% move speed. So the bots, even without the control towers, are still faster. That makes me think the builders are worth being bots, because a lot of builders' time is movement, so that they're still faster than the fleshy ones, They just have less working speed. Their working speed isn't as important. They're moving more than doing the working. Like the working speed is going to affect how fast they do this part, but the movement's really important for builders because it's moving the materials around to the work location. Since we are done with scaffolding over here, and it's just levees and dams now, these can be switched to logs. Hopefully we're not completely full of we are completely full of metal blocks, aren't we? Yes, we are. Don't have a place to move some of it. Interesting. That tells me we should really have another underground storage for metal blocks, perhaps. Can't do two of them here, I guess. Can't have another one for planks. How much storage do we have on planks? We have quite a bit. Let's just do logs. Metal blocks. Yes, logs are going down quite quickly, actually. It's a little bit scary. And these have a decent amount of time left before they are online, but they are going to be online before we know it. This is starting to clear out, so I like to see that. Probably going to plant some canola over here, to be honest. Maybe a little wheat. Maybe radishes. Those are going down occasionally, too. Okay. Yeah, this is going to go... Wait, can I not reach this one? Aha, same deal as over here, actually. So we just need to delete this tubeway. And then do the tubeway, not that bridge, tubeway bridge. Actually longer than what we technically need it for, right? Just the one would have been enough. Let's put that at highest priority though, because that will allow them to build this part up too. Gosh, we really just use a lot less water on ember pelts. Like, we just have 2 pumps, and that's enough for our 167 beavers? That's crazy. They get a lot of their thirst quenching from juice, and not all of that needs water. I think only the corn juice does, right? Corn juice needs water. Bean and radish juice doesn't need water. Tomato juice doesn't need water. Apple juice doesn't need water. Yeah, just the corn juice needs water. So the only water those other juices need is actually the water required to irrigate the plants. See, we definitely need a lot less water, which is nice. Still nice to have a nice big reservoir, though. How are we looking over here on our tree farm? Is everything planted? All of those oaks are planted. All of these maples are not planted. Very close. Very, very close here. Once that is done, we can delete that forester and make it another tapper shack. These are obviously going to be quite a while before they're mature. Making sure I didn't mark them for cutting. I did not. Excellent. We are down to just 1.3K logs. This is absolutely chewing through the logs. But that's okay. They grabbing materials from these ones? They're putting materials there, so they must be grabbing some from over here. Who's going over there? You're a hauler and you're filling these up. Okay, but who's taking them out? Who's taking them out? District Center. So you are a builder. So our haulers are not keeping up with our log demand over here, is what I'm seeing. This would by far be the closest place for logs. This isn't terribly far either. I mean, they go in here and then they pop out there. Because those two ways are connected, right? I believe. Yeah. But this is set to accept goods. We can set it to obtain. They fill that up. That's not that far to then fill up the other ones. Hopefully, if that makes sense. I don't know. All right. All the maples are done. This forester is retired. Now we can go to Tapper Shack, if I can find it, right there. Excellent. We can make this layer bots. They don't even need that much maintenance. Not nearly as much as the like oak layers, because they require bots and lumberjacks to keep up with. Foresters and lumberjacks is what I meant to say. I think we have this all converted over to bots now. Yep. Excellent. We are going to have to watch our scrap as that continues to dwindle. We are going to want to turn our mine on. Yeah, we're still keeping up with it, though. Where's that scavenger flag? There it is. Biofuel still looking pretty dang good. So is lubricant. We are out of logs. It has happened. We knew it was coming, so can't be too surprised. But I honestly think we can delete at least most of this scaffolding, if not all. And that should get us some logs back, actually. Just not going to delete it all in one go because I want there to be a quick and easy way to pick it up. Something like that. He'll pick up those materials and he'll be good. Can't get all the materials. Yep, I got it. How long until some of these first oaks come in? Actually, quite a while. We may have been too ambitious here, but that's why we built these last. So anything, this is higher than it was, right? So anything that overflows is still going to overflow right there. But I'm going to prioritize some of those other layers just so it gets a little higher. So we don't need this to be behind everything. I do think I am going to go down one layer so I don't have to watch this like a hawk. because the scaffolding's in the way of the higher layer. And that can be the top. Ta-da! Yeah, this is almost done actually. There's not a whole lot more logs needed compared to what we needed at the start of this project, right? Like it was kind of insane everything that we needed. Make that a top priority there too. Yeah, but once this tree farm starts producing logs, oh man, we're not gonna need. We're gonna have so many more than what we need at that point. It's gonna be kind of ridiculous, I bet. Let's see if we can move some of this over. Here I will pause it just to make sure when I'm trying to transfer this over, we don't have mistakes. We still can't reach there. But if I build one more, can they reach there? They can. Okay. I just don't want them to, didn't want them to build any of those power shafts. Now we can reach that. There's 63 logs there. A lot of planks too, actually. And even though we've made all these extra jobs, we still have 10 bots that don't have jobs. I do think we could really use another number cruncher, though, because we are, with all those additional control towers, and we're going to be building more. I don't think it would hurt to have another number cruncher. Right there would be good. Badwater's doing just fine too. Maybe we could put one more in here and not have to worry about it. All right, this is looking excellent. I'm very happy with the progress on this reservoir. Still got 20 days left of the drought, and we have a lot of water left in there. Why does it look like there's stuff yet to blow up in there? I thought we were done with blowing up in here. Huh. Well, that's just silly. No reason for these two to not be blown up. We can fix that pretty quickly, though. I don't remember what height level our reservoir was at before, but it wasn't much higher than, say, here. So we've already essentially doubled it. I mean, I guess we're technically only right here with water holding capacity, right? So we've added like 5 layers, probably 3 layers. Pretty significant. I don't want to say it was even lower. It was down here, wasn't it? Yeah, we've added that 5 layers. I don't know. I don't know what layer is at, but there's no doubt once it's done, it's going to be more than doubled. Especially now that we cleared out that area. How big is that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's 4. Well, let's just do a single dynamite first, and then we'll do a triple. Yeah, with this tree farm, we can honestly take down some of these other tree farms, I bet, and not have such awkward areas that we're like, okay, we just need every square inch that we can plant trees to plant trees. If we wanted to get rid of some of that. I'm very happy with how that turned out. I think it looks nice and neat. What are these scraps? They're all planks. Okay. Interesting. They dropped the planks from up top, I guess. Whatever. Oh, and some stuff went over here. Let's get that in a place we can collect. That should be reachable. Perfect. So at very least, once they collect those planks, they won't have to make more planks into logs. Is part of the reason even just getting those planks is going to help our logs go up. Because theoretically, it should make our lumber mills stop working. And they're already not working, which is good. Because we don't need the planks, we need the logs. Guess they're making a few, but we're not really using a lot of them at all. All right. We're caught up to where I marked it high priority. Sweet. I'll mark those ones high priority too, because that will bring up the level where we're at. Oh boy, we are over an hour already. That one flew by, but I feel like I wasn't... I feel like I was focused on that one, and I feel like we really did accomplish quite a lot. Yeah, we got this tree farm completely operational. Looks nice and neat. Even all the things it needs for bots. I guess the one thing we don't have is we don't have biofuel stuff up here for these bots. But they can go... They can walk, instead of walking here, all they have to do is walk into this two-way station. Zoom down here, and boom, they got biofuel, they got lubricant. No question, no problem. So I don't think that's really entirely necessary there either. Yeah, got that tree farm done. We got our reservoir easily doubled, or very close to being doubled in space. We are out of logs, but that's not a huge deal either because... Oh, we're out of scrap. Because we got that tree farm coming online here soon. And we don't 100% need the logs right at this moment. The logs are being made into planks and gears for bots. That's where we're consuming planks and gears. It's where we're consuming logs to make planks still. It's for the bot production. And our bot population is going up, and it's going to continue doing that. So we just got to keep ahead of the curve there with how much planks and gears we need, which are both ultimately made from logs. Yeah, that looks nice. Like I said, this will be online before we know it. So, yeah, if you guys watched this whole video, thank you so much. Leave a like. I assume you liked it if you watched the whole thing. I mean, maybe you hate yourself and you like to watch things that you don't enjoy. I'm not going to judge. Either way, I'm glad you stuck around. Thank you. Leave a comment. Love hearing from you guys. And subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys next time.